welcome one and all to the Disney Countdown Show, episode 5. My name is Megan, also known as the Magical Millennial, on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and sometimes during the month, Facebook and YouTube. And with me today is my co-host and the ever so lovely Danielle, the dapper Danielle. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I have my matcha here next to me. I'm waking up, even though it's actually later in the afternoon for us over here in Florida. But, you know, again, I am the night owl person. That's why I do the random Disney things in the middle of the night, not during the first thing in the morning. But yes, I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Good. Gotta love those hours over there, Danielle. Yes. So yes. Thanks for joining us 3 hours ahead, as always.
I try. I'm the time traveler of the group is what I am. Yes. But for those that are listening, I am the dapper Danielle. Same thing as Megan on the Instagrams, the TikToks, the Threads, and sometimes on the Book of Faces and the U of Tubes and whatnot. Now, for our show, though, we are the Disney Countdown Show. So Disney Countdown Show on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And then over on the Twitter bird, X thing, whatever it is Pod Disney over there. So make sure you're following us over there because, again, me and Megan, we make our own separate content. We have our own niche things. Again, I'm the random midnight girl, and then Megan, she covers almost everything over there in Disneyland, and then the Disney Countdown Show is the mix between the two of us.
Yes, exactly. Yes. It's a great combination. It's a lovely balance as well of all the things Disney. And my content as well is kind of a mixed bag, I will say.
Well, but that's what works for you, though.
Yeah, thank you. It's been fun. We're gonna keep it going, keep the magic going, you know?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
And
so for those that are listening also, wherever you are listening at, make sure you are rating, reviewing, all that other good stuff. And now Megan, our Patreon family keeps on growing again.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Yes, welcome to our new Patreons.
Exactly. So, and again, the Patreon, they are getting exclusive episodes, so extended versions of our list, usually the 11 through 15, the things that barely made it into our top 10. They're the ones hearing that exclusive episode and content. So if you want to join our Patreon family, go over there, see what's happening. And to our new friends, we have Devin, Kimberly, Jeffrey, Brandon. They are some of our newest family members. I am so excited that they're here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, be sure to stick around for that bonus content. We do that quite often. And we have some fun conversations on those bonus episodes. It's really fun. And you learn a little bit more about what almost cracked our top 10 for these countdown lists. So it's a lot of fun. So yeah, welcome to our new Patreons, and thank you to our subscribers for listening in. We are just so happy to be doing this every week, so thank you.
I really loved the story that I was telling you in the Patreon episode about the dinosaur ride and my experience riding it for the first time. So good. I really like that story. So, but we got to make them go listen to it over there if they even want to hear it. So
it's seriously, it's pretty juicy, guys. It's really, really entertaining. I learned a lot about the dapper Danielle in that episode.
Oh my goodness, so embarrassing.
It's so fun. No, it's so fun. Yeah.
But yes, now what's going on with you, Miss Megan? Anything new? I know it hasn't been very long since we last talked, but.
I know, yeah, which is great. I love that I get to talk to you, multiple times in the week now.
But you went and saw all the new Halloween merch, right?
I did. I couldn't resist. I went from my lovely facial. I literally just got a facial, right? So my skin is like super vulnerable. I'm like trying to avoid the sun at all costs.
And I thought you were glowing over here from what I can see. So hello, it's working for you.
Thank you so much. I definitely feel fresh-faced now, but I went straight from the facial, and she was amazing. She's my absolute favorite. Her name's Emily. And I went over to Downtown Disney because I saw that it dropped August 1st. So I'm like, I got to go check it out and see the giant Mickey pumpkins for myself. So I walked over there, and everything was still there. Everything was in stock at the end of the day. But I actually went yesterday again, because my mini Mickey pumpkin that I was so happy to get wasn't working. And I tried multiple batteries and tried to make it light up because it's supposed to light up and glow, but it wasn't working. So I went back. Honestly, this was a stretch because I had a feeling this would sell out first. And yes, it was sold out yesterday.
It's cheaper than the giant blow mold version, right?
Exactly. It is, I think 30 instead of 75, something like that. So it was like 25 with my discount. But yeah, so I gotta wait till it restocks to get my new pumpkin because I exchanged it for something else. So we'll see. But the merch is really cool this year. I love it. I think it's a great collection. Mm-hmm.
I don't mind a lot of it. I really like. We mentioned this in the last episode. I really like a lot of the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff they did this year.
Yes.
And
oh my gosh.
I wasn't sure if I was gonna love a lot of the like neon stuff when they did the preview back in halfway to Halloween. I was really hesitant about it, but now that I've actually seen it in person a little bit more, I'm kind of digging it. I don't mind it.
I am too. I love the Loungefly. I love the hat that matches it, and I think there's Crocs that also match. And
I've seen the Crocs yet.
I think there are Crocs. There are Crocs involved this year again. They're so cute. And I really appreciate that, we actually talked about this before. The Nightmare Before Christmas collection that they had last year was like 3D almost, and it kind of did tricks on your eyes. I feel like they combined those and made it just straight neon and straight colors that honestly work, I think, for Halloween. It's growing on me as well.
It doesn't like glow in the dark, but if you went into a black light ride, like Haunted Mansion, it would look really cool.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely. There is a ghost hat, I think, that also sold out within a day over here that glows in the dark. The little ghost with the blue Mickey hat on. He's got a Mickey cap on. It's really cute, and he glows in the dark. So that's cool.
Of it. I don't think I've even seen it in person. It probably sold out just as quickly over here too.
Probably, yeah. That I knew that was going to be a popular one, so
because he's so
that'll
cute.
have to restock. Yeah, and of course, I think a lot of people were asking. I did a video about it, and this stuff is going to be restocked constantly. This is just like the first round, so no worries if y'all can't make it to the parks in time. It also dropped on Shop Disney on August 7th, so things are going to restock throughout the season. So don't worry, you will have chances to get your hands on it. So
yeah, I feel like the merchandise keeps dropping earlier every single year, because I feel like even in the past 2 years it maybe dropped in like the first or second week of August, like usually the first week of the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, which is still is now, but like I still feel like August 1st was pretty early for it.
It was really early. It was early for us for sure. I know you guys start things earlier over there, but it was definitely early for us. I think it was maybe either the second or third week of August, they brought it last year. They brought it in.
Okay, so I'm not going crazy. It was about that time.
No, it's early. Yeah. And I think August is the good cutoff too. I'm like, okay, let's not make it July, y'all. Let's just keep it in August because like July is summer for sure. So
it is, and then August is the transition month of like in the first half of the month it is definitely still summer. By the second half, people are so over summer and they're just like, we're gonna go ahead and make it fall now anyway. So
yeah, I 100% agree. Yes. But how about you, Danielle? Any recent trips to the parks that stood out to you, or you had had a good time?
Too crazy. I did go hang out with some friends. We went to the movies and whatnot, and then we went over towards French Quarter Resort over on Disney World property, which is Port Orleans French Quarter, and that's where we have our Mickey beignets at. So we can't really get them in like a park or anything here. So we have to go to French Quarter, and they have a whole section completely dedicated to beignets now, and they have a Haunted Mansion inspired beignet, and it's like cookies and cream, and it has like a marshmallow fluff over top of it. It's gotten very mixed reviews. Either people love it or they don't love it. I think the cookies and cream like crumble bits on top can be a little overwhelming mixed with like a Mickey beignet is already perfect when it's fresh. Sometimes when you overload it with other stuff, it becomes too much.
Yeah,
right.
Totally. Oh yeah, I agree. And that Jazz Kitchen, it used to be Jazz Kitchen Express, and now is Beignets Express over here. Sometimes it's a little too much for me because they go glazed Fruity Pebbles, Oreos on top, and I'm just like, whoa, slow down. So I totally know what you mean. Yes,
exactly. Sometimes you only need powdered sugar and then just a perfectly warm Mickey beignet, and that's it. To add in too much to it is, again, sometimes too much. Sometimes less is more. Yep. And I think that's why this beignet has been getting such mixed reviews right now. And I don't know how long this is sticking around for. Maybe until September. It might stick around longer, but I'll have to double check on the exacts of that. But it's newer. It's going to stick around here for a little bit because of the movie and into the entrance of Halloween season. And it'll be good. It'll be good.
That sounds lovely. Yes, I have yet to try the French Quarter beignets over there. Haven't been that way.
I mean,
So
they're pretty good. I mean, I've had both of them, the ones in Disneyland and the ones here, and that's our nearest comparison and the best one that I can find over here at Disney World. So I think they're pretty good.
okay. I gotta try them out. Because we have the Mickey beignets. They're good. They're good, and they're a great, less expensive snack at Disneyland. It's like under $6 for 3 of them, which is actually pretty good. And but I love my beignets. So next time I'm there, I'm gonna make that a goal to go and try those over at French Quarter.
I'll take you over there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, Megan, I think it's time we go ahead and jump into some Disney news. How does that sound?
Let's do it.
We interrupt our program to bring you this
Disney news. We have some breaking news updates, everything from dining to holidays to updates over at Pixar Pier, and something that's only words that are mostly for the Florida residents. There is a new Florida resident ticket that is being offered right now, and hold on, let me make sure I have all of this information up and correct right now. Yes, so there is a adult Florida resident ticket available that it is a 2-day, 2-park ticket. All right. Now, the thing is, though, it's only available for Epcot and Animal Kingdom.
Oh, my 2
Right.
favorite parks.
Well, I know. I'm not complaining. And now this is a discounted ticket. It's $159, right?
Uh-huh.
And you can use it at both either Epcot or Animal Kingdom. So I think you can double dip and do Epcot twice or Animal Kingdom twice. It's up to you. Or you can do one of each. And it'll be good from August 1st to September 29th. So from now until September 29th. And it does not have to be used on consecutive days. That's the big thing.
That's cool. Okay. So it's less than $80 per park, essentially.
Is. I kind of view this would be a good ticketing option for Food and Wine Festival, especially we have the Eat to the Beat concerts, and if there's some artist that you specifically want to go see, but maybe you're blocked out or you've used up your entrances, whatever the case may be, this might be a good option to go twice to Epcot and make it like an Epcot dining ticket. That's what I would use it for.
Totally. Oh my gosh. Yes. If I lived closer, I would definitely, or if I lived in Florida, I guess this is Florida resident only, I would love to use this because, again, 2 favorite parks. You got a festival going on at Epcot, and oh my gosh, and it's a big date range as well. So I guess it's the 2-park Explorer ticket. So that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like this ticket, I mean, it's totally catering to the Florida local, right? Of just popping in. So. Just to see what's going on in those 2 parks. And then as we are getting into August, you can already tell our summer crowds are starting to dissipate a wee bit because school is starting to start back up here in the next week. Actually, some places actually start this week into the next week. And as we get closer into beginning of September, we're going to dip down in attendance a good amount. So this is really them trying to push that like end of summer, beginning of the fall season attendance coming in.
Yep. Just pick a day. Please come to the park. we
we
got a good deal for you.
Festival,
come eat food. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's awesome. Nice. We still have our California resident offer going on over here, which is a 3-day option that can be used non-consecutively up until, I think, actually around the same time, September 20-something. So into the Halloween season, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Okay. And I guess, this is a big one, Danielle. This next one. Yes. We do have changes and enhancements to dining reservations that are rolling out both at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. And I did read about this yesterday.
And this is already live now, right?
This is live. I think it is live. Yes. Yeah, this is all new and it's rolled out. So essentially you can now see every single available reservation time for a date that you want. Usually on the old, system on the app, you would have to like rearrange your party time and it would basically tell you like, okay, here are 3 times that are available on the date that you want, or not at all. There are no dining reservations available. You could not see all of the times.
Or you had to click each individual like 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6,
exactly.
6:30. Yeah.
Yes. It was a little bit frustrating on the app for sure, but this is definitely more user friendly. This will be something that I think will help in planning and, if you need to, if you, whatever reservation you want, whatever dining spot you want to pick, I think this will definitely help you make those plans. Depending on, obviously the parks or Disney Springs, wherever you want to go. So I think it's a good upgrade.
Well, and I'm happy it's like happening on both coasts too, because there happens to be a lot of times when My Disney Experience updates that it's only for Disney World or it's only for Disneyland. This is something that now when it comes to the dining side, it's going to be the same across the board, which I'm very, very excited about. And being a local and someone that just kind of walks into the park, or I'm with family or I'm with friends, and I'm like, well, are we flexible on dinner? But everybody knows that they want to go eat at one specific place. They just don't care what time it's at. This is so much more flexible with that. We can see, okay, you have 7 options here now. Do you want to go in the earlier half or in the later half? Let me know.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's really nice. It's the visibility is a lot better. And I am also glad that it is an update on both coasts for the Disneyland app and the My Disney Experience app. That's really nice. So good job, Disney, there. Thank you for that too. Because like Blue Bayou reservations are like so hard to come by.
Oh, exactly. Maybe that would help out with that, make it a little bit easier.
I hope so.
Now,
yeah.
Megan, I've heard this rumor about Disney's Paradise Pier, right? That's getting turned into Pixar Place. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. They started construction quite a while ago, like a few months ago, maybe almost a year now, and it is now being transformed into Pixar Place, and they're almost done, which is really exciting. They've added new Finding Nemo themed features, and I believe that's going to be in the pool area, so you'll see Crush a lot in that pool, which is really cool. Rhyme definitely intended there. And it's looking great. It was funny how Pixar Pier has been around since 2018, right? And basically we had Paradise Pier Hotel, which was the old theme there for years, and obviously the Panini and COVID halted any sort of change, but they're finally updating it to fit the theme of Pixar Pier, and it is being called Pixar Place, with a lot of different lovely Pixar movies being featured inside the hotel. It's still the hotel we know and love. I've stayed there a few times, but hoping to stay there very soon as the Pixar themed hotel. So
I think it's kind of giving me a little bit of our Art of Animation vibes, and how we have like the Nemo rooms. I feel like that's kind of what's kind of taking place over there at Pixar Place. So I think it's cute. I would be excited to go over there and check it out when it's all done.
Oh yeah, it's going to be adorable. They, I'm sure they're doing a great job and working as fast as possible, but it's going to be fun, and I'm glad that the theming is going to match up, because it was definitely like, okay, why is Paradise Pier Hotel still like glaring over there? Like it's really overlooking Pixar Pier. It was kind of funny. So
she's looking at her old self.
Yeah. So I'm glad it's gonna line up.
Depressing
again.
to picture that though, just looking over there and be like, what once was, once upon a time. And, now she's finally getting updated to match her sister, so that's good.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I guess, more hotel news, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, Disneyland has, I guess, released all this information here in the past couple days, where, I mean, to be fair, the last 2 episodes, I think, was very heavy Disney World related news with, like, For Wilderness and whatnot. So it's good that Disneyland has given us some information and some updates, like Steakhouse 55, which is the original version of, we now have Steakhouse 71 here in Contemporary Resort. Now, yours is it still going to be a restaurant? Do we know?
So, no. Yes and no. The food will still be served. It is going to be transformed into a bar and lounge area. And I don't know how to feel about this, just on a personal note, because Steakhouse 55 is near and dear to my heart and my family's heart. We have spent many, many birthdays, special events at Steakhouse 55, and it was just lovely. So very sad to find out it was closing permanently after the pandemic. But I am glad it's going to be turned. I think it's going to be more of an open space bar and lounge there at the Disneyland Hotel. And so they will serve food, I think, and drinks, obviously. So that'll be an interesting change to that area. It's just kind of tucked in the corner right next to Goofy's Kitchen. So that's their plan for it. I don't know. They don't really know also when this is going to be done, but this is the plan. Imagineers have been trying to figure out what to do with this space for a long time. So I think it's official that it's going to be a bar and lounge area.
I think I'm wondering if that's also where your convention, the Disneyland Convention Hall, is also right there connected to it, right?
Exactly. It is essentially like 100 feet away from the convention halls, yes.
So I wonder if they're really trying to cater towards the conventioneers and like the businesses that are coming in and they're just having their little Disneyland theme little get together whatnot. Oh, let's go hit the bar over here instead of having to go across the street or into downtown Disney. They're probably trying to keep them within house.
That's a really good point. Yeah. And I figured that there was a bar and lounge right outside Steakhouse 55 where you can go and have a drink before your reservation or something like that. It was a small lounge area. I think it's just going to be like extended further back or just kind of be a casual thing where, you know, maybe you don't necessarily need a reservation to go and sit down and enjoy, you know, some food and drinks, but we will see.
Well, I think it's kind of like the news that we broke in the last episode about how the wine and some alcohol was coming to some more sit-down locations in Disneyland.
Yeah.
And we said that alcohol is really where the money maker is. Yeah. And they've learned that too. And they're like, okay, we're going to make this bar a little bit bigger and we're going to bring in more of them. So I think, I guess that's just kind of what's happening from a business standpoint.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think that's what's happening too. Hope it's going to be a great theme. They'll still have the pictures of like Walt Disney, Shirley Temple, and all those like very classic old photos up. Because those were pretty cool to see. So hoping they can use those somehow.
Now, I feel like the information that I keep talking about for the past, 3 episodes now of how I'm trying to get out there for Disneyland's holiday season, but they hadn't announced it. And that's one thing that kills me about Disneyland is that they wait to announce when the actual holiday season's going to start. Where Disney World, we kind of know. As soon as the first party starts, we know when everything's going to be going live. Yep. But for Disneyland, we don't really know. And that information has just now been revealed.
Yay! The holidays are back. It's so exciting. Yeah, so we have holiday. First of all, the holiday dates. And these are usually the same every year at the Disneyland Resort. It's around Veterans Day after the first 2 weeks of November and continues through the first week of January. So the official dates, and excuse me while I look this up, I know that starts November 10th, and I believe it goes to January 9th from what I saw yesterday. 7th. The 7th. Thank you so much. January 7th. So we are going to get, thank you. We are going to get, I can't believe it's going to be 2024, by the way. That date just whoa.
We're not triggered. It's fine.
I get triggered. Just seeing 2024 on my screen. I was like, oh, wow. Oh, boy. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. So we are going to get a lot of things returning. For example, we have Festival of Holidays. One of my favorite food festivals that we have at DCA is coming back with our Sip and Savor passes, of course. And we have Viva Navidad coming back over in the Paradise Garden Grill area of DCA. And as per usual, our themed overlays like Small World Holiday and Haunted Mansion Holiday. So really excited for those. Everything's coming back. We got a Christmas Fantasy Parade, Believe in Holiday Magic Fireworks. Oh, and my favorite, I have to mention this, is the World of Color Season of Light. I love this show. I probably watched it maybe 20 times last year because I thought it was so cute.
And that's a newer holiday show that was added in not too long ago, right? Or has this been around for a while?
Yes, it's fairly new. I believe the last time they had it was 2019. I think it was introduced in 2019. And obviously, the COVID happened, so it came back last year, which was really exciting.
Wow. Okay, so it's only maybe had a 3-year run, if that.
Yes. Yeah, I think this is officially its 3rd year. And again, you guys comment away, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the 3rd year of Season of Light.
See, that makes me, I saw you post that on your Instagram story as soon as they announced that, and I was like, oh no, I gotta look up flights and see if I can get out there because this year, Dapper Day, because of course Dapper Day does a spring event and they also do a fall/winter event. Dapper Day is on November 12th.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
it's literally 2 days afterwards.
Okay. I think it's time for you to come over. I think that's the time, Danielle. I think you got to get over here.
We'll see. Maybe in the next podcast update episode, we will have an answer if Danielle's booked a flight or not. And
that'll be part of our Disney news.
I'll be part of the Disney news.
Did Danielle book her flight?
It's calling to me as all these dates are starting to line up. I'm like, oh, it's telling me I have to go. I have no other reason not to go at this point. So
I think so. We were just talking about it. Got to do Runaway Railway in Toontown, and now you got to see the holidays. And it's Dapper Day. It is Dapper Day.
It could be Christmas dress up. Oh, I could be holiday glammed out. Oh my goodness, what would I wear? Oh. Okay, see, now my mind's reeling, and I'm already trying to figure out what I could put together already, because then I also have the outfits for Disney World. Anyway, that's a separate tangent for another time. But
I don't know. I think she's made up her mind, folks.
We'll see. Again, more to come in the next upcoming episodes of If Danielle Booked a Flight. Woo! Yes.
We should make that a sound, Chris.
That would actually be pretty funny. Well, I think that's a pretty good amount of news. And I'm glad Disneyland has some details and stuff coming out that we're going to be talking about. So I think that was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's super exciting. A lot of good Disney news, and yeah, love it.
Well, do you want to play a game?
I would love to play a game. I'm so ready for this game today.
But the thing is, to the folks that are listening right now, we don't know what the game is for this time.
We have no idea.
We've just been told that Chris and the gang, they have created a game for us, and they're excited about it, which makes me nervous.
Same. Like, is it fun? Is it competitive? I don't know, but I'm ready.
Is there a way that I can incorporate that sound into my everyday life?
I think you kind of do, because that's like your official entrance music whenever Chris has arrived on scene, is what I feel like your entrance is.
I'll just give it a shot. I'll save it on my phone and just play it before I enter. I'll throw a Bluetooth speaker into whatever room I go into before I go in, and then let it play, and then I'll come in.
Yes.
Oh, it's like there was that TikTok of the guy that did the Seinfeld, that entrance music. He triggered it on the door, so whenever roommate opened up the door, the Seinfeld sound would play. You could do that sound for like some kind of sensor or on your doorway, so whenever you enter into the room, you have trumpets blaring to say that you are here. That would be fun.
Well, now I got to do that. So
I like that.
But anyway, let's play a game.
All right.
We've got a fun game we're going to play today. We're going to play a game that's called Underrated, Overrated, or Perfectly Rated. Before we get started, I want to introduce a visual component to this game. I want to introduce you to the Wheel of Destiny.
Destiny. Love it.
So what do you got, Emilio?
So we have a list here of over 40 different Disney-related things, from characters, food, attractions, things to do at the parks, where we will spin a wheel, the Wheel of Destiny, and you guys will then decide if the thing that's selected is overrated, underrated, or perfectly rated. And we'll do, I say, 5?
Yeah.
That sounds good. Okay.
I'm scared about this because I know some of our answers. Are we going to get canceled for this? If we give our true opinions on some of these things, are we going to be in hot water, Megan?
This is what it's for. This is what we're doing this for, Danielle. We got to just say how we feel.
This is why the podcasters, that's why they're here. They're listening to us to hear the raw content and our true opinions on stuffs. Let's get the wheel is spinning.
That's right. That's right. The tea. The Disney tea.
So we'll have, just because she's first here on my screen, we'll have Danielle go first. So Danielle, why don't you go ahead and give a nice big metaphoric spin of the wheel.
And autograph books. Oh no. Okay,
Ooh.
Autograph books. Honestly, I don't know. I haven't seen traditional autograph books in a hot second in the parks. Like, that was a really big thing back in like 2010 and whatnot. Personally, I feel like we still have them, but ever since the Panini and whatnot, I don't know if they've come back in the same capacity. A lot of people have gotten very creative with like signing the frames that they bring in.
Mm-hmm. Signing ears. I've seen signing ears at Avengers
Signing
Campus.
ears has been popular. Or what was the other one that people have been doing here recently? Oh, tumblers.
Tumblers.
Did you see that?
Yeah. I have seen one of those. Mm-hmm.
I feel like people have gotten more creative outside of the traditional autograph book. I'm going to rate this as normal rating, not overrated and not underrated. I think that's a normal rating right now.
Perfectly rated then.
Perfectly rated. Yes.
Okay. Do I get to give my 2 cents now?
Okay. Oh, well, if you have 2 cents, Megan, I say you should.
I think they're underrated. I know that they cost money. I have no idea how much they cost. I haven't bought an autograph book since I was maybe 8 years old, but I think that with like the different designs they have, I think they're so cute for the kids to try to fill up their autograph books. And I will say that I know I have an autograph book from 1998 somewhere hidden in storage, or with my parents have it somewhere. I know I still have it. And I think I looked through one actually a couple years ago because it was in a box. And so we've kept them around, and I just think they're so cute. I think it's a lovely like souvenir for your trip if you're with your kids and they want to meet a lot of characters and they get so many autographs and they can look through them and see who they met throughout the day. I think it's great, but I know it's not as used as it was in decades past. Yeah, so
but I would agree with you, Megan. Yes, they are still a vital part of Disney parks culture, I would say.
Yeah.
And I actually have a great story to autograph books. I don't know if we have time for it right now. Maybe we'll save it for later, but remind me to tell you my fairy godmother story and the autograph books of my time in the Bippity Boppity boutiques making magic.
Oh,
so, yes.
I would love to hear it. I'm sure it's amazing. Yes. So, yeah, I am underrated for the autograph books.
Okay.
All right.
My turn?
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay.
You're so ready.
She got the one.
Of course she did. This is so on brand for you, Megan.
Drinking around the world at Epcot. Wow. Could this be more perfect for me? Oh my gosh. Did you rig this, Emilio?
I think you did.
This, my friends, is a perfectly rated thing for us Disney adults and just regular adults alike. This is one of my favorite things to do at Walt Disney World. Whether you start in Mexico or Canada, I do not care. I'm a Disneylander, so I have no preference whatsoever. We started in the UK last time of all things and got a beer, I think, from Rosencrown. But I think it's so much fun. There are so many lovely different drinks from different cultures. I personally am a big fan of the Viking coffee from Norway, the moonshine sour from America, and the violet sake from Japan. Those are the ones that I enjoyed the most. Any beer that you get from Germany is lovely. Morocco has some good seltzers as well that we got last time. So, and obviously Mexico. Margaritas galore, right? They got the cucumber one that I love, very refreshing. Avocado, which is like a slushy kind of margarita. And yeah, it's perfectly rated for me. I can go on and on. I could literally talk about this for hours, but I think it's perfectly rated. Such a fun time for my 21 and over friends who visit Disney World.
I don't know, Megan, there's some things like I would agree with you that it is great when done in a certain environment. I would say yes, it would be perfectly rated. What I think is overrated, though, are those people that they make, and Megan, this is not you. There are people much worse than you that make drinking around the world their entire personality when they're on their Disney trip. Meaning that they have the Etsy t-shirts, and then they have the giant check marks on the back of every country with like the little boxes, and then they make the cast members take the little Sharpie and mark it off on their back, and then you have the giant group of these adults just as soon as it gets marked off on the t-shirts they go, yeah, woo 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 woo, and I think that might be a little much.
Okay. I've really only seen one group like that in my years of going to Epcot.
But that's also, it's different expectations, because I see it on the regular because I live in Epcot, basically.
Right.
Where my opinion of it is going to be totally different from someone that only sees it maybe every once in a while. And you're just like, oh yeah, that's fun. That's adorable. But as someone that sees it all the time, you're not like, to the people that think, oh, this is such a great idea, I'm so original. No, honey, you ain't the first one to do this before. That part I think is overrated, is what I say. But besides that, I think drinking around the world itself it's great. I think it's really fun for people. Like, there's some girls that, or some guys also, that as soon as they turn 21, it's a safe place that their parents take them drinking for the first time. Also, when they go drinking around the world, I think that's adorable. I think that's fun. Cute. But because you're doing it in a safe environment, just
You're in Disney.
don't overdo it, y'all. That's all I'm saying.
Then I was gonna add that on at the end. Please drink responsibly, and please know that you are in Florida, and 99.9% of the time it's going to be insanely humid, sucking the moisture out of you. So make sure that you're drinking water as you're going along. And if you start to feel like you can't handle yourself anymore, please stop. There's no need to do all 12 countries if you can't handle it.
Don't make my security friends have to come talk to you. That's a lot of paperwork that they don't want to have to fill out today.
Or you don't need to end up on TikTok in the wrong ways. So just do it responsibly. Please and thank you very much.
Exactly. See, and then that's a good one of like it is, but also can be underrated. Okay, interesting. I like these opinions.
Yeah, me too. All right, that was exciting. Next one.
And the spinny spin. I really love this sound because it sounds like it's from like Mario Party or something.
It kind of does.
What does it land on? Olaf.
As a character?
Olaf as the character, is he underrated, overrated, or perfectly rated? Oh, you're making me have to choose. I don't know.
I think I know where I stand.
Do you know where you stand? Okay, because I'm very torn on this. I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna say perfectly rated. Because I do think sometimes he can be a little overrated. He was there for a really hot second also, especially with Frozen 2 and stuff coming out. I think he's starting to rebalance himself, if that makes sense. So I would say perfectly rated is where I'm going to put myself in.
Yeah. I'm the same way, Danielle. I'm a huge Olaf fan. I think he's perfectly rated. I loved his, all of this makes sense when I am older. I love that song. Yes. Like, I love that song. And like Samantha, hilarious. As great. Frozen 2 was amazing. Yeah, and also his shorts on Disney Plus. Yes, his shorts on Disney Plus honestly had me crying laughing because I love them so much. Like, so good. The retelling of the stories in like 30 seconds or something like that, or 60 seconds. Amazing job. And also, huge Josh Gad fan. I actually did meet him at the parks one time, and he's the sweetest man. So, yeah, I love him. So yeah, he's perfectly rated for me. I love Olaf, and I love warm hugs.
Good. I know some people are definitely saying like overrated right now. They're probably yelling at their the speakers again, trying to say no, he's overrated.
He's so annoying. He's overrated. Yeah,
I think it's balanced out, especially here in the past year or two, especially in park culture. I would say more so. He's started to even himself out a little bit. Again, it's all good.
Yeah, I agree. All right, number 4. Oh. I wanted it to land on the one before that.
This one's interesting because it is so different between Disneyland and Disney World.
Very different. Yeah. Very different. Okay, so y'all, they landed on PhotoPass, and oh man, I don't use PhotoPass like ever. What do I think? I think maybe it's underrated. That's why. I should use it. It's free. It's part of Magic Keys and
free for you.
Excuse me. Free for Magic Keys. Yeah, sorry. I'm not thinking of the vacationers who are not annual pass holders.
No, well, yeah, you're good.
And it's free for you too, right? As an annual pass holder? Oh, it's not?
It is a add-on package that you can add in addition to your annual pass, and it can be added into any level of annual pass. But it's like an additional $100 or something like that. And
wow. Okay. Sorry, I had no idea. I should have known that, but I did not. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I feel like how they operate is so different. So like Disney. So from what I understand, after talking to PhotoPass friends on both coasts, the new cameras come to Disney World, and then the older cameras then get transferred to Disneyland, from what I understand, right?
Oh, okay.
But your PhotoPass people have the flexibility to actually walk around out of areas and actually do more creative shots, where in Disney World, they actually have to stay within a station, and there's more like weird copyright things that they have to do where they can't leave their section because of the way it's set up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's very interesting, and like how it's they're both PhotoPass. They are very similar features in how they work and operate, but I don't know. Some of the magic shots, like I just went to the PhotoPass studio that is located over inside Disney Springs. They had I think it might be already done by now, but they had a whole orange bird setup, which of course, me being the crazy orange bird lady, I had to go check it out, right? And it's a full studio, and I happened to get a group of photographers that they were fantastic. They knew their angles, they knew how to adjust the lighting and adjust my face, because of course, glasses and lighting, usually I have awful glares where you can't see my face. Well, I was able to change it, and it looked fantastic. I posted a lot of the photos on Instagram. I was like, look at you. Where sometimes like it's a hit or a miss. So I would say perfectly rated. Just kind of be that even ground again, because they are so different between both coasts.
Gotcha. I would definitely, it's based on your experience with it and also just the process over there, I'd probably say it's perfectly rated for world. But I think it's a bit maybe underrated, underused at land. Obviously the lines that I see are long, usually in front of the castle and in front of the, right now we have a 100th anniversary Mickey that's standing at the front of Main Street. So those lines can get pretty long. And obviously when the Mickey pumpkin shows up, that's going to be crazy. And the Christmas tree and all that. So, I think it's great, and I guess I'm very appreciative that it is now free with Magic Keys, because, again, no idea that it was in a
and if it's included in your pass, Megan, you got to take advantage of that and go ahead and utilize that.
What am I doing? Yeah, seriously. Sometimes they're just standing there like in DCA, and they want to take pictures of you. They're just like, are you guys free for a sec? Can you come over here and like take a picture with Walt and Mickey? And
and I know for Disney World people, I think it's for the same in Disneyland, especially as you get closer to like Halloween season and whatnot. If you have like a princess bound you were doing, you can go over to the PhotoPass studio that the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique uses, and it's technically open for all ages. You don't have to, at least that's what it is here in Disney World. It's open for all ages. I don't know if it is for Disneyland, and you can go over there and take the cute, like, princessy pose pictures with, like, the little woodland animals. Even as, like, an adult, you could do that. But that would be cute to have that included with your annual pass cost anyway. If you got it included, use it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay. That's a really good idea. Yeah, so maybe, I guess I would say underrated for land and perfectly rated for world, if I'm allowed to give that answer.
I think that would be good.
Okay. They're different. They're different parks.
Well, do we have one more?
Hey, one more. Give me Spirit jerseys, because I know exactly where I stand on that one.
You just want to spill the tea on that one.
I do.
Spinny spin.
Oh, this is a good one.
Okay, y'all. It landed on getting a locker. Ooh. Okay, I don't know. So for here in Disney World, right? This was, I think the locker costs are like what, $10, $15, and $17, or at least it is for Magic Kingdom, I believe. And of course, all the lockers are located in the front of the park, which is great for some locations. Like it could be useful for Magic Kingdom or maybe Hollywood Studios. I would never suggest this for Animal Kingdom or for Epcot, right?
No, definitely not Epcot.
Definitely not. I would say, I don't know. I feel like using the lockers, unfortunately, is like, it's so 2005, y'all. Like going and using the lockers, and you're packing your little own lunches, which is fine. If you're someone that you are being very smart in your financial choices, and you're like, no, we are going ahead, we're buying pub subs, or you already made your sandwiches, you have a little small cooler, you're being smart, you're putting it in the front of the park, but you're planning out your day as such that you're going to go back there and actually utilize it. That's great. That's fantastic. Underrated. But if you're just getting it just to get it, and you don't go back and forth and actually utilize your locker, I would say it's overrated. Right?
Okay.
And I know a lot of people use them for like shopping purchases. See, my rule is that if I can't carry it in my hands and I'm not going to hold it around for multiple hours in a day, it's not worth getting. So that's my mindset. But if you're a shopaholic and it helps you, but go for it.
Right. Or you wait till the end of the day when you're walking out to get it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say for me it's perfectly rated, but it's tough because obviously we go and we create content at the parks, right? So if you're going and taking pictures in certain outfits, and let's say the weather doesn't agree with one of them, like for example, it's 95 degrees out, you want to do a Star Wars Galaxy's Edge outfit with like all black on and like a robe or something, and you don't want to carry that around with you all day. Yeah, I would say go get a locker at the front of Main Street. There are lockers in DCA as well, and also in the promenade right outside the parks. So, and ours are $7 for small, or $7 for like a regular size, and then $10 for the larger size. So you can fit a lot in that one, which is really nice.
See, ours is way more.
Yeah, exactly. It's so interesting. I mean, you definitely have more travelers with more stuff, so I get that.
Yeah, I think it's to try to keep people from they check out of the hotel and then they're trying to keep their luggage in the front of the park. I think it's trying to deter more people from doing that, is what my assumption is.
Got it. That makes sense.
So
yeah,
and I feel like yours would be smart too, because you could purchase it for one park, and if you have a park hopper ticket, your parks are within walking distance of each other between Disneyland and DCA. You could buy one for Disneyland, Magic Kingdom, and then just go back and forth to be able to go get it, and you'll be fine.
Yep.
Or use
exactly, or use the ones right outside Disneyland. They're technically in the promenade, so even if you only have one park, you can just go outside and get what you need from there and go back in. So yeah, or it's like maybe it's like raining or something. You don't want to carry your umbrella around with you all day because it's can be sporadic here in SoCal. So something like that.
Your weather fluctuates so much because as soon as that sun sets, it dips down dramatically, and you usually have to have a sweater or something like that. Where here in Florida, we don't have that same issue. If you're bringing around your poncho or your umbrella the entire time, if you decide to try to change your clothes, it don't matter. You're going to be wet no matter what, even if you have something in your locker. So I don't know. I think it is underrated for Disneyland. I would say maybe overrated, perfectly rated for Disney World.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that, because I've used one before, and I love when I have one. It's also, you just don't leave your stuff there, because sometimes if you don't use it enough, sometimes you forget that you do have one. And I've definitely walked out, and I've had friends walk out when the park is closed and forget that they had a locker, so they got to get security or someone to go back in and retrieve their items.
I forgot my stuff. Or make sure you set a reminder on your phone. Hey, don't forget to get your stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But I used it for Oogie Boogie last year, which I probably will use it again this year because it's September, and it's still going to be insanely hot in September, for sure. And our costumes, I wore a very, very hot costume last year as Mighty Thor, so I had to put that on at the last second to make sure I didn't pass out during the party. So
you can enter into the park earlier before the party actually starts, so you can be in normal clothes and then go ahead and put on your costume later. That's a smart idea. Okay, definitely underutilized then for Disneyland.
Yeah. So yeah, there's the last one for you.
Well, good.
I like it.
Good game.
That was super fun. Yes, I love that. Agreed, guys. I understand why you loved it so much.
Yeah. Now, y'all, for those listening, if you have any suggestions of things that you wanted added into the wheel, it can be anything food related, characters, parks, anything from PhotoPass to lockers, whatever. But let us know what you wanted added into the wheel. And maybe as we keep playing this game, because I think we're going to bring this back a little more often, right? As we play it, maybe your suggestion might get called out and you might hear the tea that me and Megan have on maybe your topic.
Because there's some in there that I got my thoughts on. So definitely, shout them out, leave them in the comments, leave them in your review. We'd love to add some more to the list.
All right, Megan. Well, you know what? We never told them what the countdown actually is. They might have seen in the title of this episode, but we actually haven't said it, and we left them hanging last episode of what our theme is. So what are we counting down today?
We are counting down our top 10 Disney sidekicks.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
So excited.
Now,
this is going to be great. I'm so excited to see your list because I didn't realize how many sidekicks there were. There are a lot of sidekicks.
Okay. Now we got to talk about this, Megan. Right?
Okay.
So I kind of told you when we were discussing this idea a little bit. I kind of retract my statement. So my original statement is that I thought that sidekicks can be best friends, but best friends cannot be sidekicks, right?
Yes.
So I gave the example of, for example, Tiana and Charlotte LaBeouf. Charlotte LaBeouf is the best friend. She is not a sidekick, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, now Megan, oh gosh, I don't know how much.
Back?
No, well, no, I'm not taking it back. I'm altering it.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
altering it a little
altering.
bit.
Okay.
I'm actually thinking that some animal friends that people label as sidekicks are actually not sidekicks. They are either pets or just animal friends.
Oh, I see.
Right.
Okay.
So I had, oh gosh, Megan, I went into such detail with this list. I actually had an hour-long conversation with my siblings because all my family's in town right now, and they're just like, Danielle, what are you going to be talking about in the next episode? I'm like, oh, we're counting down Disney sidekicks. Well, Danielle, what's your list? And then I started giving some, and they're just like, we don't think that's a sidekick. And I was like, wait, what? And so then we had this whole debate on everything, and we actually had to look up the Webster's dictionary of what the term sidekick is, right? So this is the definition of a sidekick: is a person's assistant or close associate, especially one who has less authority than that person. So the sidekick, I would say, impacts the narrative.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. And
So-
I'm now looking at my list to make sure that
Right.
I am.
So
following these
one
rules.
I was almost worried about, I was kind of thinking Olaf would not be a sidekick originally because he has too much narrative. But
Yeah.
actually, no, I would say he is the sidekick and Sven is the animal friend. Because if you remove Sven from Frozen, he does not change the story. If you remove Olaf, that he is the one that pushes the story forward.
Definitely.
Does that make sense?
Okay. That
now,
does make
like,
sense. Yeah.
Pascal, for example, in Rapunzel, I say he's just an animal friend. He is not a sidekick because if you remove Pascal, he does not push the narrative forward.
Oh, okay.
See, now, these are the things that I was debating with my family, and we're just like, oh no. Now, again, it's just those that are listening. You might not agree with my narrative. You might be like, oh no, Pascal, Miko, all the animal friends, they are immediately sidekicks just because they are cute, adorable, and they have sassy eyebrows, and that's the reasoning why. And
Yeah.
so I don't know. I think we might have a little more of a debate on this than I anticipated, Megan. Do you agree with me, or what's your thoughts? What are your vibes?
I do think so. What I feel like is, I agree in that sidekicks definitely contribute to the plot, to the narrative. But I feel like there's some that have a big enough role in films, in some Disney films, where even if you remove them, you know, they still
Does it
had
lose the heart
an
of it?
impact on the film. Right. Exactly. Like, for example, Miko. Like, he's one of my favorite characters in Pocahontas. And I would have been, not that I would have known any better, but I would have been sad if he wasn't in the movie. You know, he had some fun scenes, especially with, you know, I think it's Radcliffe's dog and Percy. Yes. So I'm now looking at my list and I'm like, oh shoot, I have some that you're describing.
Well, and then so I have
okay.
another debate also, right? As we're talking numbers, I had quite a few characters that I would consider dynamic duos, right? So
like Lightning and Mater.
well, not even Lightning and Mater.
No?
I
Okay.
consider those two separate. I consider like Lightning McQueen's the main and then Mater would be the sidekick, right?
You think Mater's a sidekick? See, I don't think so.
I
I
think
think
Mater's
he's
a
like the best
sidekick.
friend.
Now,
Oh,
also,
okay.
don't view it from the second or third movies. You have to view it only from the original content source material.
Okay, the first
Right?
film.
The first
yes.
film.
Mhm.
Because, of course, like Timon and Pumbaa, for example, would you separate them or do you call it Timon and Sign Pumbaa?
Yes.
Right?
I would not separate them. Yeah.
Right. Or Jacques and Gus, you would not separate them. Chip and
Jacques and
Dale,
Gus,
you would not
right.
separate.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So I do think there are some characters on my list that it will list two characters, but since they are dynamic duos and they cannot be separated, they are listed as one.
Okay.
Do we agree on that?
We agree. You are definitely going to be like, Megan, that's not what I was talking about when I was going through, through my list here.
But this is why we have these conversations to try to decide and figure this out, right?
Exactly. And sidekick is definitely a subjective term. It's not like it's because when I was going through stuff on Google, like I was trying to figure out my list and I was, of course, Googling things. There were definitely some characters on there where I was like, I wouldn't consider them a sidekick, but,
Right.
you know, that's just what they thought of. So
Right. And I feel
might have a little bit of discrepancies in opinions, but that's okay.
Right. But and I think this is really something up to our listeners also, as you're thinking about your favorite sidekicks and you're trying to decide, oh, well, is that really a sidekick, or is that just an animal best friend, or just a best friend? Like, you gotta really, it makes you overthink the story of throwback to English class, right? And in English class, you're having to dissect all the story and the nuances, and your English teacher asks you, well, why did the author make the drapes blue? It was because the author was portraying the sadness in the scene. Right. And really it's just because the author liked the color blue.
Motifs.
Exactly. So are we I could just be the only one, Megan, that's over-analyzing the relationship of these characters and the narrative, right?
That's okay. That's all right. We gotta, set some sort of boundary and expectation. Yeah. But I crossed the line, I think, a bit on these, but that's okay.
But that's okay. If you can give valid argument, then I will say, okay, I will give it to you. How does that sound?
Okay, sounds good.
Do you want me to start off then and tell you what my number 10 was?
Yes, please. Yeah, go ahead. Start us off.
Well, I think we're going to actually break this up, and we're going to make it our 10 through 6. So do you want me to start off with my number 10 and go ahead and get the ball rolling then?
Let's jump in. 10 through 6. Here we go. Go ahead,
number 10 is going to be the best conscience possible, and it's going to be Jiminy Cricket.
Oh, that's awesome.
He is a fantastic sidekick. He's the one, like, let your conscience be your guide, and like the iconic. I feel like out of the first beginning Disney movies, because of course it was Snow White, Pinocchio, he was really the one that really kind of brought the sidekick character forward. Like the Seven Dwarfs, they're their own. They're kind of like sidekicks, but they're not. Right?
I wouldn't call them sidekicks.
I wouldn't call them sidekicks. So does that make Jiminy Cricket the first?
Maybe because it is called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, so they're like main characters essentially. They're in the title, Right. So I would say Jiminy Cricket. Yeah, he might be the first from.
So that's why he had to make my list, and he's at my number 10.
I love it. He's one of my all-time favorite characters, fun fact. And when they turned him into a shoulder buddy for merchandise, I was like, absolutely. That makes so much sense. Disney, great job, because he's your conscience. He can just sit on your shoulder right there at the parks.
For those that don't know, in the Disney cast member community, Jiminy Cricket is represented for like most training things. So trainers, when they are going through their training, a lot of Jiminy Cricket is used as the training motifs, and on the trainer pins, it is a Jiminy Cricket. So that way he sits there, and the trainers are supposed to kind of be your additional conscience as you're going through training on Disney World properties. So that's your little fun fact about him.
I love it. Okay.
What about you, Miss Megan?
So, my 10 through 6, this is what I'm telling you, Danielle. We're going to disagree on these being sidekicks or not. So, my number 10, and he's kind of part of a sidekick duo, and I'm sad I didn't include the other guy, but it's Hey Hey from Moana. Strictly for comedic value, and also for, like, sometimes he gets things right. Sometimes he's useful, just in his own random way. But he made me laugh in the movie, and I really liked him. I thought he was hilarious, and I think he's super cute, and I like that he's in, Magic Happens and our parade and everything. So, I chose Hey Hey for my number 10.
That's fine, but I think it's because you have more of an emotional connection with that character.
Yes, it is.
I don't know. For me personally, I was so excited about Hey Hey when the trailers were dropping for Moana, and then to see he wasn't in the movie that much, I think actually was really disappointed by that. And since I thought it was a letdown, I would not include him on my list.
That's okay. That's totally fine. And I want to just say that Pua unfortunately did not make my list, and I'm not sure why, because I love Pua. He might be number 11. I don't know. Join our Patreon if you want to see that list. But Hey Hey for comedic value is number 10 for me.
Okay.
So y'all can yell at me in the comments if you disagree.
No, I will be very intrigued to hear some people sign off and tell us as they're listening to this podcast. Like, I think on our Spotify, we're going to have a poll saying if you agree with Megan's list or my list, like, make sure you're writing down which one you agree with, and let us know, or even just send us a note on the Instagrams, or leave a note over on the social medias at the Disney Podcast show on Instagram, threads, whatnot, and let us know if you agree with Megan's list, my list, or even like my definition of the over theorizing the sidekick theory, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, anyway,
please let us know. Yes.
Number
all
nine
right.
is going to be my first duo set. So I do count Jacques and Gus as my number 9, as my dynamic duo set. You can't have one without the other. And I loved those little mice. They played so much into my story as a fairy godmother at the Bippity Boppity Boutiques, right? Especially Gus.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And we would say how Cinderella's mice friends, they helped us out because we were still fairy godmothers in training, and they would help us go get the little tools and the dresses to be able to make sure that everything was perfect for these little princesses. And that's why they're my number 9, because they're so important to me.
Oh, I love that. I love Jacques and Gus. Yes, Gus. Oh, little Gus. I love when he's taking the pieces of corn or from the chicken stock or chicken feed.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite
Just
parts.
trying to
He's
hold
like,
everything
get it
in his chin
with his yeah. I love that scene.
Me trying to go to
and they're
get Starbucks, and I'm holding multiple drinks and I can't carry them with me. Yes.
I do think of that. I always think of that if I'm multitasking trying to carry things. I think of Gus every time. So cute. Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
And I almost had them in my list as well. They are not, unfortunately, here. So same subjects. You're probably gonna disagree with me. It's the number 9 for me is Bruni from Frozen 2. He is the fire element.
The little fire chameleon thing?
The little fire
Is he a
chameleon.
gecko? Is he a gecko?
He's a gecko. He is a little gecko. Or he's a salamander, I guess, is what they're calling him. And he is just the cutest thing. And when he came on screen, I was just like, oh my God, I want him. I need him as my little sidekick, as my little pet. So I don't know if he like really contributes too much to the Frozen 2 plotline, but I think he helps Elsa in a way to like guide her, in her direction on her journey. But
I don't know, because he kind of guides her, and then the way he disappears, he like literally just jumps off a rock, and then we don't see him again until the end of the movie, right?
I thought he kind of does he do that? Oh
because he leads her to the water area, and then he yeets himself out of there. He doesn't follow her over there.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay, so he leads her like to one spot and then he disappears. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, he is cute. I'll give him points for
he's
being
one of the cutest animal-like creatures, I think, in a Disney movie.
But he's another one that he was used a lot heavily in the Disney merchandise and also in the ads, and he did not get enough screen time. And I was like,
I know.
Okay, come on.
Maybe I'm like thinking that, I want these guys to get more attention. And like
they're
underappreciated more. Yeah, they're underappreciated. Appreciate these characters, everybody, these sidekicks. So, and I do have Bruni as a little plush. They came out with him like a month after the movie came out.
Yes.
And so, yeah, he's a comedic factor for Hey Hey, cuteness factor for Bruni, and now we're getting into the real stuff, I promise.
Okay, no, it's okay, Megan. Your list is valid. You're all good.
Thank you, Danielle. I appreciate it.
Well, number 8, I actually went with a villain sidekick for my number 8.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay.
It is Smee, Captain Hook's right-hand man.
Oh my gosh.
Love Smee. Especially, he is a part of our Festival of Fantasy parade here at Walt Disney World. And I love yelling at Smee. Like, in a good way. I'm not obnoxious, people. I'm not that person that's, like, over the top. Like, I get overly excited. I'm like, Smee! No. But, like, if I'll make contact with him, I'll give him little heart hands and stuff. I love Smee. I think he's adorable and such a fun little character that he's got his act together, but he keeps it well hidden, I feel like.
Yes, agreed. Smee is great. I do love Smee. Yeah, I think he's such a funny sidekick to Captain Hook, and their dynamic in the movies, and also when they're like, together either in a show or like out and about at the parks. It's really cute. I like it. And also, they're in the ride and everything, so nice. I like that choice. Okay. Sweet. I'm realizing that, human sidekicks are a thing too, and I didn't realize that when I was making that list. So there's an absence of humans in my list.
Oh, is there really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I think our list as we get down further is going to be very interesting because I have a couple more.
Oh God.
Well, what's your number 8 then, Megan?
My number 8, and he just referred to him earlier, is Miko from Pocahontas, because that was literally one of my all-time favorite Disney movies growing up, and he was a big part of my childhood, and I thought he was super cute. He tried to do his best to support Pocahontas, and he I don't know what scene it was where he was in the bathtub with the other dog, Percy the dog. I don't know what he was doing either.
Oh, he snuck onto Radcliffe's ship, and that's where Percy was having his bubble bath, and he had his bowl of cherries, and that's where Miko comes in, and he just gobbles them all up.
He wanted the cherries. That's right.
And Percy's just how dare you?
Yeah, that's right. His little raccoon self just looking for food. Yeah. So yeah, he's my number 8, and I love seeing him in the parks as well. He's a rare, but he does go out there.
He does.
Yeah, he does. So
I would say probably one of my favorite scenes that has been utilized a lot in GIFs and memes and whatnot is the scene where Pocahontas is about to go over the waterfall, and you see the back of his head, and then he turns around and he's just what you about to do? And he's questioning Pocahontas on her life choices just in one look. I do love that, and because of that, he was going to make my list. So but after I was trying to decide, is he a sidekick for me? I don't know. That's why he was put into the back burner, but he would have made my list. Yes.
That's fair. Okay. Good to know.
Well, number 7 for me is actually going to be from one of my favorite, I mentioned a couple of favorite songs in our couple past episodes, and one of my songs that didn't make the list but almost did was You're My One Last Hope, the song that Philititi sings. And so Phil from Hercules, his trainer, his half goat, half man little trainer, he is my number 7 for sidekick characters. See, I would consider Phil the sidekick. I would not consider Pegasus the sidekick. Pegasus would be, well, really, he's a mode of transportation, but he would be more of the pet kind of category. So that's where I would say Phil is the sidekick of that movie.
Okay, I wholeheartedly agree with that. I think that's a good point. But yes, Phil is awesome. I love his song in that movie, and definitely an integral part to the plot. So
yes,
I love that choice. Well done, awesome. Okay, go Danny DeVito, by the way.
Oh, exactly.
Okay, my number. What are we on? 7?
Number
already?
7. Mm-hmm.
My number 7 is. Also, probably more of a mode of transportation, and that is the magic carpet from Aladdin. Now, I know a lot of people would consider me, I don't know, I saw Raja on my Googled list of sidekicks. I'm like, no, Raja's a pet. Raja doesn't do much. But the magic carpet is, I think, an integral part to the plot. Obviously,
he doesn't even have a face, and I feel sometimes he has more character narrative than some of the other characters did in that movie. So I would consider Carpet a good sidekick character. I feel okay, hold on, back it up. The old Aladdin show that was in DCA, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Carpet was definitely a sidekick character in the musical version of Aladdin in that show. So I would understand why he would be considered a sidekick.
Right. He does have a personality, he is technically an inanimate object, but he is alive, and he does save the day in a few instances, and also is just a big part of a whole new world and everything. So that's why I consider him, and I'm giving him a gender too, apparently. So that's why I consider him to be a sidekick.
Well, hey, what is it? Jeannie even says, "Hey, rug man, give me some tassel."
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, rug man. That's right. Yeah.
So Jeannie says that his pronouns are he then.
His pronouns are he, so that's what we're going with. Exactly. Yes, I'm going with what the genie says.
There you go.
But yeah, that is my number 7.
For number 6, I have another dynamic duo.
Ooh, okay.
And it's going to be Lumiere and Cogsworth.
Oh, I love them.
Yep. I do feel this is one of the few that you could separate it and just make it Lumiere or just make it Cogsworth. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I feel guilty separating them. I feel they have to go together because they annoy each other. They get on each other's nerves so much, but they play an important part in them of the Beast and Belle getting together and having conversation and whatnot. They play an integral part in that.
They do. They really do. Yeah, absolutely. They're very helpful on both sides, honestly, in that relationship and the growing the story and everything. And love them. I love Lumiere. I love Cogsworth. So that's a great duo choice.
Yes.
Nice.
What about
so
you,
sorry.
Miss Megan? Do you have a number 6?
Before we get to my number 6, I just want to mention once again, be sure to follow us on the socials at Disney Countdown Show on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, and at Pod Disney on Twitter/X. And thank you guys again so much for following along. Thank you to our subscribers and our Patreons. We're so happy to have you here. So thank you for listening. All right, now, yeah, my number 6 is, and I know this is a sidekick. This has to be a sidekick, Danielle.
Okay. You're very passionate about it, so pop off what it is.
It has to be. It's Scuttle from The Little Mermaid. It's not really a pet. Okay.
I think that's a fantastic choice.
And I think he's very, as you know, quote unquote, annoying to at least Sebastian as he may be, I think super integral to the plot. He's the one that found out what was going on with Vanessa/Ursula. He's the one that told, that helped her along, and that part of it.
And I feel like he was really the main. I mean, he would technically kind of be a catalyst to get Ariel to even thinking about the human world and telling her all about these treasures and about dinglehoppers and like all these other things, because he was considered the expert. So.
Exactly. He's the one that helped her with her interest in the human world, and so I think he's an important sidekick, and also just helps her too, in living happily ever after. So. That's why Scuttle is my number 6.
Well, I think he is a fantastic sidekick to go ahead and press pause on and make our friends come back for the next episode to hear our 5 through 1 of what our top sidekicks are. And again, y'all, you need to sound off in the comments before we get to our next episode and tell us if you agree or disagree with some of our ideas on what makes a sidekick, what doesn't make a sidekick. I want us to have that conversation and really be thinking about these things. So let us know. Again, the Disney Countdown Show on Instagram. Send us a message over there so that way we can hear what your thoughts and feelings are. And or message Megan or myself. I'm the Dapper Danielle on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Send me a message, or the magical. Wait, what is yours again, Megan? I keep getting it confused.
No,
I keep
you're
saying
totally
Megan,
fine.
the magical millennial. Well, it's actually
magical. The magical millennial. Yes, yeah,
and
with an underscore at the end. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah. So send us a message over there too. Let us know.
Yeah, definitely. We want to hear it. Please criticize me and my choices. I'm all ears. I'm not. I'm ready for it. I don't know,
Megan. I think they're actually going to agree with you, and they're going to disagree with me. They're going to think I'm being too picky on it. That's what I'm thinking. That's what
I loved your choices. No, I loved your choices. I was kicking myself, being like, "Oh my god, that was so good. Why didn't I include that one?" So you know what?
I have some other really fun ones as we get into our top 5. So I'm going to make you wait for that until the next episode recording. Also,
I can't wait to see it. I am fairly proud of my top 5 as well. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Well, I think that means that we will see y'all next time. And Megan,
have a magical day, everyone.
And night night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Whoa.
Hooray. Whee.